Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Spotlight Podcast, the developer and creator interview series by Boss Rush. I'm your host, Stephanie Klimov, trying to use a new webcam, so I might be looking down, but I'm actually looking at the screen. And today we have a very special guest, Matthew, founder and head of studio software engineer of Beautiful Bee. Welcome.
Thank you. It is a great honor and great pleasure to be with you and have an interview and talk about our latest project. And hello, everyone.
Yeah. So I just kind of did like a little bit of research about your team. So just at a high level, Beautiful Bee is a dev team out of Poland. Absolutely love the group that comes to PAX every year. It's one of my personal biggest attractions are games from Poland. To be honest with you, you guys have amazing set of creative folks that make games. So Beautiful Bee consists of a group of friends. You guys, I believe, met at a game dev course. And because you have a diverse team consisting of various professionals like programmers, musicians, graphic designers, writers, and more. So is there anything else you want to add, or if you mind just introducing maybe you yourself and your specific role in the company?
So, as you mentioned before, I'm the head of studio, but as common for indie developers, mainly a lot of persons wearing many hats and doing a lot of things. So it is normal for me to cover, for example, if you are make the uh, make this to the AAA studios, for example, if you work there, I think 8 or 7 positions. So yeah, there's a lot of work, but it's normal. Of course, the people are in the team also make the incredible job, and a lot of positions that are of the regular basis that they work. And yeah, we are empowered by passion and love for the video games, and this is why the Beautiful Bee studio, I can say formally, starts to living and breathing, and our latest project was made by us.
Excellent. Thank you. Before we get into the actual meat of the show, I always like doing a little silly, cheesy icebreaker called the Gauntlet. I cherry pick a couple fun questions, and I think I'll piggyback of what you said, as especially as an indie team, you got to wear many hats. You got to be adaptable. Um, Requires a lot of energy. So, what is your energy source of choice to get you through a work day, like coffee, tea, energy drinks, or none?
Everything what you just said, it's on the regular basis, right? I love sweets. My family is laughing about me because when you ask me what my favorite dish, I can say that sweets. So if I, but I'm counting the calories. So yeah, but I love sweets. I love, of course, I love coffee. I love tea, but I drink a lot of water. Um, in the time when I work, I changing the positions from standing to sitting. You definitely need to take care of yourself, because if you take care of yourself, your brain is sharp. You know
Mhm.
what you're doing. You are focused. So yeah, you definitely need hand, to handle yourself. To yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big sweets fan too, but I'm really glad you mentioned, I mean, not just, drinks, because it's just for, conversation. It's changing standing positions, for example, because as much as gaming is such a wonderful art form, can be a great either career or hobby or both, primarily we're sitting. And if you
Yeah.
have other jobs, you're probably also sitting. So that can be tough. So I agree. When are you most productive? And for your team, do you have a set schedule? Are you guys like a 9 to 5, or just whenever you guys can get together?
We are split it in different cities in Poland, and of course, the some scope of the project is made by the persons, for example, in different country in Europe or America,
Mm,
and we mainly are uh, set some hours that we know that we will be on, and then, for example, make some brainstorming or sync with the info. But mainly we are working remotely, and mainly we are recording something, um, sharing the materials, and of course we also make the physical meetings, and then when we are on the physical meetings on the place somewhere, um, then we talk and talk and talk, because this design in game industry is mainly by talking and sharing the information, and it is the best to share the information with conversation. I don't know how that works, but it works the best and the quickest way to make things done in design, and with the sync and the things that need to improve is
Mhm.
by conversation. Yeah.
Mhm. Agreed. Switching up gears a little bit, I ask this question every single time. I never skip over it because my son and I get into this argument almost on a daily basis. Who, in your opinion, is the superior Mario brother? Is it Mario or Luigi?
Mm, okay, that's a tough question. For me, Mario.
Mm,
But why? Because Mario is on the first place everywhere, right? The Mario
mm,
game, Mario and Luigi, and everywhere from the beginning. When I think about this question, you've got Mario and his brother Luigi, but you have also the
mm,
game like Mario Luigi mentioned. Where the first character, the hero is this Luigi, but yeah, Mario on the first place, I think. Yeah.
You have a good argument. I'm Team Luigi, but I respect your opinion.
Okay.
My son would
Okay.
be
Good.
happy.
All
Um,
right.
I know you've spent much of your time developing, so I'm not sure if you had time to, game a lot recently, but tell me some of your favorite types of games you like to play, or is there particular any genres that you like?
Oh, this is also the tough question, because in this year I will have 38 years old. But so yeah, the first system and the first games that I was playing was on the Nintendo Entertainment System, so Nintendo. But I got all the consoles. I play a lot of games. Right now, not so much as before in the past.
Mhm,
But for me, if the game is great, if the game is good, and it's when it's something unique in the game that correspond with you, because I'm not the person that listening the crowd and start the
mhm,
play in the game that everyone is saying is the great. No, I need to play the game, feel the game, and if something that is nice for me, then I will finish it. So I'm very picky in the games, but I play all genres. So, for example, platformers, real-time strategies, FPSs, racing games, futuristic racing games. That there's no a lot of games right now on the market, for example, for racing games.
mm,
But this is the subject for a different topic, because when you start making the video game, you see on you check the charts and said, okay, we will invest $100 million. What we're gonna do? The game that we will make the game that have the lower most lower risk of not sell, right? This is why everything's shooting, and right, and
mhm,
this is where the indie games started to shine, because there's always need to be something unique, something else, and have the sweet spot that it need to be new, but it's not but it's new, it need to be new, but it cannot be new, because if it's too new, the players will can I don't know, don't see the roots or feel the game as is the games that you play before. It's a very difficult thing to achieve, and iteration and tests, and very hard will to
mhm,
to end the project to the
mhm.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point, because you do tend to see that with the bigger publishers and developers because they have, what is it, those board members they need to appease,
Yeah.
and they set these ridiculously high goals, and if you don't meet those goals, so that's why we probably don't see, just for example, many racing games, because if you try to put out a brand new IP racing game, it's probably not going to do well because you already got like the Mario Karts and oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on the PlayStation one, Forza. Was it? Yeah, Forza, like stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Um, on another kind of similar genre is fighting games. You know, you got your Tekken, you got your Street Fighter, you got your Smash
yeah.
Bros.
And for
Um,
and for
go ahead.
example, I love Soul Calibur. This is for me.
Mm,
This is the most the Soul Calibur, the first one on the Dreamcast. This is the best for me ever fighting game ever made. And for example, on this day, the Tekken is much more popular. That's the
yeah.
last part of Soul Calibur, and this is the life. It's everything's evolving. The players changing the interest. So it is hard to tell you what type of game is the best for me or not, because yeah, interest is changing really. The from year to year, everything is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say I agree. And since you mentioned, like, let's just say I'm at a very similar age range as you, and even I mean, I did grow up with NES, but my primary starting point for me though was N64 and Game Boy. So
Yeah,
I got the Analog Pocket last year, and then I think in the next month I'm gonna get the Analog 3D, which is like their state of the art console that plays your N64 games. I can't wait
yeah,
to play
yeah.
that.
Very nice to hear that. Right.
Alright, thank you. All right, well, that was actually a really great icebreaker. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts. You know, hopefully you feel a bit more settled and all that stuff and getting ready to talk about strings theory.
Yes, of course, of course. Yeah.
So, for the audience, Strings Theory, which is out now, by the way, is a level based puzzle game in an isometric perspective based on a real scientific physics based theory. 50 levels to be exact. You can play alone or in a three-person co-op as these strings as you traverse a microcosm. So very itty-bitty environment blown up for you to play in. As you navigate through an anomaly, you leverage your character's skill set to collect little bits of energy and reach your next level by activating a wormhole. Again, as I mentioned, it is already available on Steam. And what brings us together is here because I met Matthew here at PAX East, and that was the day that you guys were launching it on console, which was Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One slash Series. Did I do good?
Yes, that's 100% and more
Woo!
everything. The gold pill of the information of the game. Yeah.
Good, thank you. So again, firstly, congratulations again on launching Strings Theory on consoles.
Thank you.
How does it feel, and how has the reception been? And the reason why I asked this, because I know, like you said, I mentioned it was initially released on Steam.
Yeah.
I just want to see, were there any differences in the experience between the Steam launch versus console launch?
Um, what what I can you what from the okay, so from the technical perspective,
Mm,
the release for the console is a different story, is a different planet, really. Um, this is our first project, the first big independent project for the studio, and we was bold in our statement, and we said to ourselves, okay, we will release the game on the consoles by ourselves without the publisher, because
mm,
the game was so unique, and everyone was saying to us, it will not succeed. You just make the simple concept and put it on the mobile, and that's it.
mm,
And we said to ourselves, no, we will pack this game to premium. We will do everything that make the game fun for 8, 10, 12 hours, and we made that real. And but what I get in the way of in the way to make the ports, it was very tough, and I understand why the publishers are on the market, why they need to help the small indie studios, because if you don't have experience in software engineering, a very tough software engineering, because my background is software engineering. I started making the video games from 2015, but before
wow.
that I was working in standard IT. On the first days I started working commercially, I was servicing computers, laptops, making servers, LAN connections. So all this knowledge empowers me to make the ports on the end. And from the technical point of view, technical point of view, it was very tough. And from the from the players, from the player point of view, from the end experience, the difference is big because uh, from the beginning we was planning the game for the consoles, mainly for Nintendo Switch, because everyone was saying mobile, so smaller screen, good to go at
Hmm.
game when you can play 50 minutes, 30 minutes, that you can finish one level or two and pause the game, keep it the console and put it in the pocket. So this is and the indie and Nintendo Switch is a powerhouse for indies. So also we was thinking that the Nintendo Switch make the job done. Will make the job done for the selling and interesting scope. And that was happening on the PAX is the when we talk when the players come to the booth and want to play in the game, we ask, okay, do you want to normal screen TV with the joystick from Xbox? And this is the simulation experience from the Xbox console. All Switch. Oh, Switch will be fine. Okay, and people was on the time switches was busy, and when we didn't have switches on the shelf, standing in lane for player, then someone is started to play on TV. So yeah, and this perspective for us and this experience was just saying that we was thinking right, and the game is by design and interest and concept for consoles and mainly for Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know if that's the all information that I said it's enough, or maybe you have some more small question.
No, I tend to ask pretty broad questions. So that's great, and the fact that you brought up PAX kind of leads us to the follow up question: is,
Yeah.
how has your experience at PAX has been? Like, what, just, and you can elaborate on anything, whether it's feedback from players or meeting other devs. Tell us all about your experience, especially since it's your first time traveling
Yeah.
to the U.S. too. So it's like completely new environment.
Yes. Okay. So I can make the comparison with the for example online events. When we started to make the campaign for the game, there was unfortunately there was a COVID time, so all the events was online.
Mm.
And when we get the first awards, when we get the first selection for the Tokyo Game Show in
Mm.
2020, this was the online experience. So it was super nice to have the interest in Tokyo Game Show officially, when you heard from the publishers that the game will not succeed and no one will gonna publish you, and you just can put the game on the mobile and that's it. It was a very it was a light in the dark tunnel for us, really. And we said to ourselves, of course, okay, if Japan said to us it's a great game, so maybe it will be the great gaming, people will love it. And after that, we've been on the many different other different selections. For example, we was on the Indie Live Expo. We was in Sweden. Free selections for Xbox. I did Xbox Summer Game Fest, Winter Game Fest, but all that was online. So despite the interest and some emails and conversation, that was it. I physically don't feel any event. I cannot talk with the players how the game was on the end. I'm just seeing the stats from the demo for the platform, and that's it. So it was very dusk in the feedback, in the information for me. And the PAX was the first physical booth and the physical showcase for the players. and this was aligned with the release. And oh my god, the experience was so much different, really. To see the Even if you see the players that are playing and say and seeing the smile and the very very real, not fake, very real interest
Mhm.
in the game. The people that just seeing that the friend is playing and they just want to touch the game and check the game because the friend is playing and its look is very nice. Um, but on the poster on the wall, when you see the out there on the top, you see the 13 selections and the string story, and the logo and everything. People people don't buy that. People buy the experience. And our mission, this is the most value information and feedback from me from the packs, that my mission is to show the game to players on all the world, for all the on the whole globe, for all the players on the world. Because if they start to play, that's that my job is then done. And mostly then the players love the game, like the game. Not everyone, but from 10 people, I think 8 7 was saying that game, great game, very nice game. Also the experience with the headphones and the music,
Mm.
and all this experience, then they realize that the game is very unique, very nice, very fun. And it's fun. It's not because that something is shooting there, or there's a blows up, or some action, some cutscenes from AAA games. It's fun because it's unique, its gameplay is fun, and it's a puzzle platform, isometric puzzle platformer, but it's very fun on the end. So this was the best uh, experience from for me, to have this collaboration with the players, listen this feedback, and see the real interest. And my mission goes further after the packs. My my vision and my power to continue to showing the game and make the voice about the game. So yeah, it's definitely something that you cannot describe. You need to experience it by yourself. So and despite that, the PAX was great. The play was the place was wonderful, and I definitely want to go to another PAX. And if I only have the possibility, I want to be in many places on the globe, because this is something incredible, really.
Mhm. No, I think you nailed it right on the head. I mean, I think the best way to get the the experience out there is to put them in the hands of players, and when you're there, it's that's how you sell it. And you saw me when I was there. I was watching you. You were like, so busy, like talking to everyone about it. I was like, and I was happy for you. I was like, good. Just keep engaging with the players. I was happy to see you guys like constantly busy. So for those that are listening, yep, I had an appointment to play Strings Theory at PAX. Games from Poland is always a packed section of PAX, and I think I played it on a Switch, yeah, and I had on headphones, and it was really quite a delight. Trying to see. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about the game itself later, so maybe I can kind of pipe in after the fact. But I'm really glad you have the opportunity at PAX, and hopefully I'll see you again at another convention. So when it comes to the make of strings theory, I know earlier you talked about how you played a big role in the porting, but what were some of your other roles in strings theory?
So um, I know I don't want to be I don't want to be a superhero on this picture, because I'm not alone. For example, all concept, the main core of the concept, the string theory,
Hmm.
as a title, as a lore, as a concept from the physical string theory, and the heroes itself, the Telly, Isaac, and twins, Norm and Sal. Tomasz Chmielewski, our game designer and head of art in beautiful studio, create all these beautiful things. And but he put the concept on the table, the core mechanics and gameplay, and then was the problem how we can make this all unique concept, the puzzle platformer, the isometric view, interested interest for the
Mhm.
gamepad, yeah, for the gamepad, not mouse, uh, not for the mouse and not for the touch, for the gamepad. And this was very very difficult. And I'm the in the project in the studio. I'm game programmer, game designer. I make the pods. I make the sort of engineering, so the logistic things from the hardware, website, and also I made the PR, marketing, QA, a lot of things, really, a lot of things. And yeah, but I don't want to be superhero here because the great games are made by great teams, and
Yeah.
only if you have, even if you have game design document, the same game design document, and you give it that to five different teams, you will get five different games, so different that you
Hmm.
will. I don't know if you tell on the end that this was the same GDD, this was the same
Yeah.
game design document. Yeah, so a lot of things, but it was collaboration always and
Hmm.
iteration. Uh, what I can say, yeah, the main process of making this game as it is now on this day, it was iteration, iteration, and
Mm.
iteration, and we made this approach that we make some iteration of the game, give it to the players for tests, get
Mm.
the feedback, and then after upgrade version with more content out there, we put the we give the next group of the fresh players that don't see the game on that are seeing the game on the first place on the first time. And we have many groups of fresh players, of fresh testers, and we iterate,
Hmm.
iterate, iterate, and then we get back to the players on the group A, B, C, from the group D, A, F, and that was a very unique approach. And on the end, it works. It works fine because on the end, sometimes there's some feedback that can change the gameplay or core itself. But on this level of the development and release, we cannot do anything. It can be done to, for example, replan the second part. Then we can make a little bit difference. But on today, I think this is all what we can
Hmm.
get. Only content and new levels and new modes. I think this will be fine. And and yeah, I think this is all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Um, I love the approach. It's honestly quite scientific in nature in itself. I geek out on it because I'm a pharmacist by trade. So I'm huge into science, not physics necessarily, but science is science. So for those that aren't familiar with actual string theory, which I'm not an expert, so I'm just going to quote from Britannica, okay? String theory is particle physics, a theory that attempts to merge quantum mechanics with Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. The name string theory comes from the modeling of subatomic particles as tiny one dimensional string like entities instead of the more conventional approach where everything are little point particles. The theory envisions that a string undergoing a particular mode of vibration corresponds to a particle with definite properties such as mass and charge. And if you did not get it, it's okay. I had to read it a few times to kind of digest the high level. But I like applying something that actually exists in the real world, like as a theory, but then making it like a fun little playable experience. Um, the three characters, Isaac, Telly, and Twin, are absolutely adorable. I love the sounds that they make, the little dialogue that they have. Telly probably is my favorite, just personality and also mechanical gameplay perspective, because each three has, for the audience, different means of going through each puzzle or maze, however you want to call it. Like, I believe Isaac is the strong one that can push down barriers. Telly can kind of, I don't know the right word, but like go, be right side up or upside down.
Yeah.
And then Twin, as you can get from the name, can split into two, and so you can maneuver around the puzzle and activate two different things at one time. So the thing about puzzle games is not everybody likes a puzzle game. Same thing as not everyone likes a horror game. Not everyone likes an action game. But how did you guys make sure to create an engaging yet balanced puzzle? And the talking point, and here I am going with a broad question, is what I loved about playing Strings Theory, and we discussed this, is that it emulates the easy to play but difficult to master concept. So, with that being said, how did you guys kind of work toward that fine balance?
So as I mentioned before, okay. So maybe from a different side on the
Mm,
beginning, I can say that the game is a puzzle platformer, isometric puzzle platformer. So this is a logic game, but there's a lot of arcade elements out there, and this is why, because Tomek, our game designer, um, is a logic person, and I'm
mm,
an arcade guy. I'm a very arcade based person. So we struggle and pulling the line from to his side and my side, and on the end, this makes are in the game on the finish, and we mixed that because of the consoles and because of the gamepad. I put a lot of work to the gameplay to have the best experience on the gamepad. If you play on D-pad or if you play on the analog, there's an isometric view, so you need to be very tight and need to be very smart in calibration of that. Um, this is the first thing, and the second thing is what I said before: iteration, and one more time iteration. We was iterating the game, the concept, um, and a lot of things, and put that put give this people give it to the people and check if this is fine or not. Also, we made this approach that we will think about the techniques and think about the design, how we can um, arrange levels to make the very fresh, unique take on every level. And we take something from Sokoban. Sometimes we take something for different games. Sometimes we was creating a very big levels when we need to run for it and collect something, use the speed run boost power to collect something. And in another level, there's a 10 on 10 tiles size when you need to think about every move, like in the Sokoban, to not restart the level because you block something. And yeah, but this approach came because of the iterations, a lot of design concept that we think about that universally, that this concept, this and
mm,
this, and we mix this concept and make in this level or this level. Um, yeah, so this is why it's so fresh, and also the two persons, because Tomek and I, we both made design of the levels, and we half of the levels are Tomek, was made by Tomek, and half of those was mine. Sometimes Tomek didn't have something on level, and I make design something that he wanted to put it because it was too empty, and in an other way, an opposite. So on the end, this is why the game is so unique and balanced,
mm,
because yeah, we also made a lot of test iterations. This is why the development was 3.5 year.
mhm.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Um, Speaking of all that, and I only ask this question because I like to ask myself this question whenever I'm writing a game review, because some people might not like to read reviews, rightfully so. I don't always base my decision to play a game off of a review. I try to tie it up as what type of a person might like this game, because I feel that unless the game is just flat out broken, I feel like any game could be the right game for a person. So, in your opinion, who do you think your primary audience would be? And what would you want them to walk away after playing strings theory?
Mm, ev- hmm. This is a tough question, really, because frankly, we made a lot of tests of the game on the persons that we don't even think about that they will ever play the game. And
Hmm.
after they play one, two, three levels, they are so addicted they cannot stop, you know.
Hmm.
And we're talking of the players that after the Fortnite or Gears of War or Doom or I don't know some racing games, really, there's um, no rule for that, but definitely the puzzle lovers, the persons, the people who love logic games,
Hmm.
the people who love arcade games, the people, for example, who like the games like Thomas Was Alone, the old Vikings from the Blizzard, um, the Trime franchise, yeah, and the people who like the couch co-op
Hmm.
to relax, right? You have very bad day. You want to relax to with someone in your home. I don't know, with mom, with brother, with your partner. This game is the perfect for that because if you start collaborating with each other, because the couch co-op is working like you can play on the one hero in the same time. So when you change the player, when you change the hero, you change the player. So you need to think and collaborate with each other, and everyone is seeing something different on the level. And
Hmm.
sometimes you will see uh, some some things that another person didn't see on the first place. And
Hmm.
for cooperative, it is very also nice game, and for relaxation. And many people and on the packs many people were saying that when you listen the music of the game, because we put a lot of work out there to the music and SFX, the design and the music is from Jakub Niewęgłowski and Silent Media,
Hmm.
audio and music studio. So we put a lot of work to have this also very nice, and everything click very nice. So yeah, I think this is all what I can say.
Yeah.
And if someone don't know if they like this the kind of game, just try it, and maybe
Yeah.
it's something new, right? Something new that someone is see there.
Hmm. Nope, I agree, and the music does add an absolutely wonderful
Yeah.
vibe. And just one other comment: I have seen a couple games at PAX this year that really are championing couch co-op, which I'm happy to see. I don't want to say make a comeback. It's not like it really left, but many people would just favor just general online play, which there's nothing wrong with. But there's just something that you can't take away from couch co-op. That's my favorite
Yes.
way to play.
And this is why also the Switch, because you can just take the Joy Cons whenever
Yep.
you want and share with the person that is standing right or left, and you can just play. This is great with the Switch version on the go, right? You
Mhm.
don't need to have the appointment on the weekend. You just can grow. You can just switch with you and see someone on the street and ask about quick coffee and maybe gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'd like to close this wonderful interview with one of my favorite questions I always like to ask my developers, and that's if you had no limit to your budget or time or resources, and you were allowed to curate your own physical collector's edition for Strings Theory, what would you like to provide in that collector's edition? Because I already have one idea.
Oh, this is a very tough question, and uh, it's I I think on 100% the audio on vinyl.
Yep,
On
that's
vinyl,
what I was
yeah.
thinking.
This is the first thing. The second thing, the figures of the strings. You said the superheroes figures. Um, what else? Some art book with things that cannot that don't put it in the game. The first scratches of the
Ooh.
levels, the first scratches of the heroes, etc. Um, the steel book would be nice also. Yeah. And what else? Some stickers, I think, some postcard. Um, it's a pity that Tomek is not with us because he cannot be with us. Maybe he will think about something very unique also. But this thing that I tell you now, I think this is what I will put on the. But if I will sleep 2 or 3 nights, I think there's something. Also, there's something to put up.
Oh, for
Also,
sure.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. But I will say one of the top things on my list, I think, whether it's a vinyl or a CD or a code,
yeah.
just something with access to the soundtrack, I think would be phenomenal to put in if this were to come true. So, well, you never know. Someday I'll see it online and I'll be one of your first customers. So,
Oh, very nice. It's a great thing to hear.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think this kind of shortly wraps it up. Like I said, everyone, I had the opportunity to meet Matthew and play Beautiful Bees game Strings Theory at PAX East 2025. It's available on Steam, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. It is a delightful platform puzzler with very chill, good vibes music. I highly recommend you check it out. We'll provide all the links in our podcast. But before we say goodbye, Matthew, I might have to put you to sleep and do my housekeeping real quick. So, if you want to support the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at a tier that's right for you, earning you perks such as early ad-free access to this and other podcasts, exclusive access to spotlight interview access threads, voting rights on our book club, and more. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. But always, your listenership and viewership is always enough for us. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a thumbs up or comment. If you're listening to us on a podcasting platform, please leave us a rating and review. And last but not least, be sure to check out all of our content on our website, bossrush.net. That includes reviews, articles, coverage, including our coverage at PAX East, such as my coverage on strings theory. So again, that's bossrush.net. Matthew, thank you so very much for your time. Please keep us posted on future projects by Beautiful Bee.
Thank you also for this opportunity to talk with you. It was great. Thank you all for interest and thank you all for your time. And I wish we will see each other next event
Yeah.
or playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, Retrostoy, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.